What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Bonehead Truckers. Guys, I've made it my mission to make trucking great again. Make trucking, all of trucking great again. And this video exposes what's going on in the trucking industry. So hit that like button. Hit it right now and share this video out if you feel like it. And let me know in the comments what you think about it. It's going to be a longer video. I got a lot of screenshots. Okay, a driver reached out to me. You know, he was having a hard time finding a job, and you have companies like this that come in and take advantage of drivers that may have a harder time to find jobs. And well, he says, hey, I'm going to send you some screenshots and all that, and let's expose this company. He did this while he was still onboarding, and it is what it is. I posted a screenshot on X, and they caught on to it. Got a lot of views, at least a lot of views for me. I'm relatively small on X, and they canned him, and they canned him. So he was feeding me information. I was posting it out there, and then they canned him. So we're going to go and take it a little bit further and put it right here on YouTube. And I actually applied to go work for here. Worked for them, and I had a conversation with one of their recruiters, okay? And so I want you guys to check this out. We've got screenshots about how they run illegal, and they admit not only to him and all of X, but they admitted it to me as I was applying. So you got to watch this whole video to see all that going on. So anyways, enjoy the video. Again, by the way, if you want to help this driver, if you got an open position at your trucking company or whatever, I've already checked. We don't have any open positions for our company side for Reed and TRC. We do not do lease purchase or anything like that. So I've already tried. But if you guys have any opportunities for this driver, just contact me, and I'll just forward your information to him. contact@boneheadtruckers.com. Anyways, enjoy this video. So this is the first screenshot he gave me, and this is typical stuff, right? How long is orientation? 1-2 hours, blah blah blah, and all that. So, but here's the red flag. If you look down there at the bottom, that bottom text right there, it says, "Please download Telegram. Company owner wants to speak with you." That is red flag central. If that doesn't say red flags, I don't know what does. Because that's how they operate. If a company tells you to download Telegram, run. All right, so here's the Telegram chat right here. Now, this is between this driver and dispatcher, and I do believe, I don't know if these are other drivers or multiple dispatchers, but from what I understand, Mr. Tommy, I think, is the owner, possibly. I could have that mistaken. But if you look at that name, John Eros Martinovic, it should tell you that they're foreigners right there. But they're sitting there joking about and talking about hours of service. Okay? Was talking about how we don't want you doing 34-hour resets. Okay? But even though you're going to see later on in the video how they're going to sit there and talk about, hey, go to a truck stop and enjoy yourself. And binge watch TV shows. I don't get that. They don't want you at home. They want you on the road. We'll talk about that later. It says, we have a 24/7 ELD team. Now, a properly working ELD, you don't need 24 hours a day, 24/7 ELD service, right? Like, need someone to doggone change your hours for you, because hey, if you're doing it legit, if you're running safe, not running over people, then you don't need a 24 hours, because hey, once you're out of hours. That's what your thing is. You're out of hours. This is the screenshot. This is the text right here that got him canned from this company. Him sending this to me and me putting it on X. As far as I know, he ain't run a single load with them. Okay? And This right here is they didn't want this getting out. As a matter of fact, they deleted him. I guess way it works on Telegram again. I don't have Telegram. I guess if they remove you, all that goes away. You don't see him. It was a good thing that he got this picture while he did, because they deleted all of this, or deleted him. That way he couldn't see all of this. Well, we got the damage right here. Now, again, this company is all over the board. Okay, and you're going to see that in the screenshots. I'm fixing to show you parts of the contract. I'm not going to show you all the contracts, but the key things I want you to see in this freaking contract, okay, that he signed. They didn't sign. They didn't even put their name on it. But this is a shady stuff right here that is a reason why we have people getting ran over. Okay, four-wheelers getting ran over by people that shouldn't be even behind the wheel. Either because of their hours of service, or they're just illegal truck drivers. This is a part of the contract I want you guys to focus on right here. This is something that's like, look at this. You see these fixed costs? Yeah. No? You don't see no numbers there, but they want you to sign their contract anyway, even though there's, well, nothing there. There's nothing written down there. The truck trailer insurance, that should be already in there. IFTA should be in there. Fuel, that varies. Maintenance on the trailer, I guess that's variable. I guess depends on how many miles you drive, possibly. Your escrow, okay. 24-hour ELD and maintenance support. Do you really need a 24-hour support? Well, actually, let's take a look at this down here. This is something that you should draw red flags. EB Infinity imposes significant penalties for safety violations ranging up to $5,000 for extremely bad violations. In order of priority, please be most wary of the following violations. All right, hours of service. Hours of service violations are the worst. Absolutely, I agree. Please contact our 24-hour maintenance support team if you are out of service. If you're out of service, does that mean someone's going to repower that load? Is that what that means? Or does that mean that they could go and, well, fix your logs? I imagine we're going to find out if that's exactly what's happening here, right? This is interesting too when it regards to dispatchers. Once you're in a truck, you'll be ready to go. You'll be assigned a dispatcher. The dispatchers EB Infinity works with are experienced and handle hundreds of trucks. That means, if you don't know what that means, what they just said here is that they have a dispatching team for it. They have a service. More than likely, that service is overseas. They're dealing with hundreds of trucks. This company does not have hundreds of trucks. Okay, and if you see the words, it says EB Infinity, who they work with. Please communicate in advance with them if you need to go to a particular way, so they have time to find good loads. Having a good relationship with the dispatcher is necessary to do well at EB Infinity. Drivers are not allowed to book loads directly from load boards, even if they have their own MC number. Additionally, drivers are not allowed to contact brokers nor shippers except for calls asking directions or hours of operations. Okay, we have contracts with all our brokers and shippers that prohibit our drivers from contacting them, as is a breach of contract. Now that may be so. Some brokers have that where you have to be allowed to at a customer. But I find this interesting because it's like say for instance over here at TRC we have dispatchers. Okay, we do, but you can also book your own loads off the spot market. You could call people off the broker or off the load board. You can call customers. You can call customers directly. Okay, you could do that over here at TRC Freight. Well, these guys can't. Now, I'll tell you the reason why. For the most part, They talk about having relationships with them. Yeah, a lot of these brokers are overseas now. A lot of these brokers and these dispatchers are all overseas, and they don't even speak English. So if you look at this whole contract, and I'm not going to show the whole contract here, there's a lot of blank spots, okay? And there's just a lot of blank, but they expect you to sign everything. Listen, guys, you get a doggone contract from any of these companies, you got to have all your information in here. I mean, the company does. Before you sign anything. Now, they may have your name and all that information in there, but the main thing is for your information, you need to know who you're dealing with. And when we've been dealing with this company, we're dealing with multiple names here. And in this case right here, we have EB Infinity, right? Now, this is through Cat Trucking, LLC, that they advertise on Indeed. And we'll show you that here in a minute. But then you go and you look at the onboarding team for SMJ Freight. Now, I've seen SMJ Freight around on the internets and all that. Not all that great reviews. And all these guys, they all work together, what it looks like right here. Hang on. I clicked on Cat Trucking, okay, and then I get sent, it's in EB Infinity, okay, and then it's all of a sudden SMJ Freight. And then you got all these blank spaces on the doggone contract. What in the world's going on around here? This is who he applied for on Indeed, right? It's called Cat Trucking LLC. OTR Class A drivers. Only winners roll with us. Losers stay parked. Man, that's one heck of a advertisement, don't you think? 80% gross revenue? Yeah, you read that right. That's like finding money in your cup holder. Oh, you're funny. TRC does 88%, by the way. I'm just sitting there saying 80%, 3,500 miles a week, plus plenty of road to stretch your legs and your paycheck. 600 mile plus day expected, so that means you could get all the miles you want. Okay, I'm just sitting there 7 days a week. That's what I'm sitting there talking about. 24/7. You can truck. You can get 1,000 miles, I'm sure. SAP friendly. Okay. Oh wait, by the way, it says not for the faint of hearted. Okay, miles, 600 miles. Not for the faint of hearted, but hey, you're a road warrior, not a road worrier. Stay out 3+ weeks, then take 3 to 4 days off. Oh man, that sounds great. Enough time to perfect your truck stop, cuisine, or binge your favorite series guilt-free. What the crap are you talking about? Valid CDLA, 2 years experience OTR. Okay, bonus points if you've got epic road stories. I've got some epic road stories. Can I come on? Skilled with drive and equipment. Okay, listen. It takes to open up doors and shut them and bump docks. It takes a skilled professional. Okay, with many years experience to open up these doors and to bump docks. Okay, because box trucks are so last year. So I went on there and applied. I applied on Indeed, and we've had this great freaking back and forth on text. But before we go and talk about these text messages, they left me some voicemails. That's right. This is a mass confusion with these voicemails because I guess they have a calling service or they got some sort of app. Because it's not like, hey, is this Isaac Stevens? Because that's my government name. No, this is what you get.
Hello? 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 We are sorry. An application error has occurred. Goodbye.
Hello?
Yes, that was 3 different voicemails, okay? Man, what a professional recruiting department they have. This is what they sent me because I was like, hey, I can only do text only, no phone calls. Why? Because of this. We are looking for strong drivers only that can do at least 4,000 miles a week, at least. That's 571 miles a day, okay? All right, I'm just sitting there saying. For 7 days a week. You gotta average that. Imagine all the dog time. But anyway, the reason why we ask this is because this position is a rent to drive. And we have a deduction list. It's a walk-away position, so you are not into any commitment with us. We pay for repairs and maintenance, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Listen, 4,000 miles a week, okay? I don't care who you think you are, but you are not going to get that every single week. Can you get it every now and then? Yes. But you're not going to get that any freaking week unless you're cooking your books. Now, I've been, going around and around with them. And as a matter of fact, as I record this, I'm still going around and around with them. Okay, so, but this part right here, okay? Just sitting here talking about that. I brought to you that 4,000 miles, okay? I asked, what is the customer base? Also, you have at least 4,000 miles. Can we get around the hours of service? Sorry, that's my dyslexia in there. Listen, it's just how it is. We run drive-ins, live loads, blah, blah, blah. And he didn't know what to say about that whole hours of service. He asked me to be a little bit more specific. And I says, I'm saying is if I run out of hours, can y'all give me more hours? And there he says it. Yes, sir. He says it right there. Yes, we could give you more hours. This is a recruiter. This is not a dispatcher. It's definitely not safety department. I don't think that a company like this has safety, but they have that right there. All right. And then there's and this is what they always say. Hey, give me a copy of your CDL and medical. All right, that way we could go forward. And, and as I'm recording this again, I'm still going round and round. You'd be surprised on how they do a 180. Let's look at this 180. So, right here on X, I posted what you just seen, this doggone screenshot. I posted it here. And obviously, this is the reason why the driver that gave me the initial information had already pretty much got canned because he shared that information that I showed before in the first part of this video here. I posted it on X and I posted this on X. And all of a sudden, after I posted this on X, a little over an hour ago, I get this response out of nowhere because I was sitting there asking doggone questions about what's your relation with EB Transport, EB Infinity. It says, sorry, I had a meeting, so my replies are a little slower. Sir, I believe I misunderstood what you were asking before, and that's why I asked for you to be more specific with your questions. So my answer is, if you run out of hours, you must always take a rest. Otherwise, it would be a violation. Also, not sure about EB Infinity. So I'm thinking they're backtracking, obviously, because they see what I'm up to. Then I ask what about SMJ Freight? You guys saw the screenshot. They says, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know about any of these companies. And then I go and ask, it says, do you work for CAT or are you a recruiting service? And his last reply, and this is my last transmission with him, are you interested or not? Because it seems like you are a scammer or so. Yeah, well, here's the scam there. This company is obviously a scam to me. And this is just an example of what's going on in United States trucking right now. Is this right here. And this is the reason why we have unsafe roads full of unsafe drivers, because we have companies pushing these drivers to run over their hours. So with all the backpedaling, I did have one more text right? I wanted to send. He asked me if I was a scammer or not. I said, no, I'm actually Bonehead Truckers. Okay? I get on YouTube and expose shady trucking companies. Thanks for the screenshots. Man, he's in all defensive mode right here. Doesn't really see what's going on. That's the reason why I think that this is a company that has a recruiting service. Probably doesn't know the ins and outs of trucking. They have their talking points or what have you. And then they realize who they were dealing with, and all of a sudden they're backtracking. And so that's what's going on. This is the reason why I do this, guys, is expose these companies. When you sit there and you see Indeed, or it says Cat Trucking or SMJ, EB Infinity, or all sorts of these companies that come out of Illinois, the suburbs of Illinois is what they say, or all over the country, but they just seem to be centralized in Illinois. This right here is a problem. This is the reason why I'm trying to do my part to expose these companies to you guys and to the rest of the trucking industry, and hopefully someone who has power, okay, in the federal government can go and audit these companies, okay? Audit these companies and see what these guys are all about. Listen, I'm putting my life in jeopardy. ATU is putting their life in jeopardy by doing this. Maybe Danielle is her name on X. She's putting her life in jeopardy, and other people all over that are sitting there exposing these companies. Like, you don't understand how dangerous this is for us to do, okay? But I'm willing to do it because it may save someone's life if these companies get exposed and get put off the road and not allowed to do business in the United States. That's, and it has nothing to do with anything else other than we want safe carriers, okay? And we also want drivers being treated fairly, okay? We want to save lives out here, make trucking great, make our roads safe, okay, and have our American culture, our American truck driving culture back the way it should be. And that's the reason why I'm fighting here. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I appreciate you guys listening to this whole long video. Okay, all right, and hey, we may do this again some other time. Just depends on what information's given to me. But until then, Bonehead Truckers, we gone.